So this will be the Boucan Style Smoked Duck. We're starting with a 4.5 pound whole duck, unopened yet. So y'all get to see just as much as me what our Asian market sends as a whole duck, because it's a whole duck. We don't, they don't take off anything because you never know what you want when you get your whole duck. We're not going to be eating all of this duck, clearly, because, well, I don't know how to cook this parts of the duck yet. But the tongue has been removed because that's an Asian delicacy, so they separate that. There's a little bit left there, but not much. But we don't need that much of the neck. So we just take it into the bone, and then pop, and then through the other side of the meat. And we're going to just keep the drumsticks so you find the joint and just cut right at the joint to remove the feet. And the lower leg. The lower leg is not anything that you're going to want to eat in this dish. There are plenty of other dishes which will use these parts, so we'll save that for maybe some other time. As far as the wings, they've got those folded back for Peking style. We're not doing Peking style, we're doing Boucan style. Now, if y'all have read on the website, you know that the Boucan is the smoking device used by the Taino Indians in the Caribbean during the time of the pirates. Now, for our dry rub for this duck, we could just put him on there just like this. He'd be fine, he'd be good, because there's plenty of fat for flavor on pretty much any duck you buy. But the last time I smoked, I did a chicken for the family, and I didn't put enough salt on it. We're not going to have that risk this time. So we're starting with about 1 cup of salt. That 1 cup of salt is going to get about 1.5 tablespoons of granulated garlic added to it. Then we're going to put some dark pimento. Now this is dark paprika. And because I did get it in an Asian store, we're going to put a little bit of Asian flavor in there. So this is ground ginger. And notice how much less of this we're using. This is ground clove. You do not want to put a lot of ground clove in, because a lot of ground clove, and that is the only thing you will taste. Ground clove is so strong that when you buy it in a plastic container, you need to use it in about a year, because the clove volatiles, the oils that come out of the cloves, will actually start melting the plastic that they package it in for most other spices. So make sure you use your cloves or buy it in glass. I prefer buying it in glass because, well, you don't need a lot of it. It's a little too strong. Now this is going to be more rub than I need, but this is a nice salt-rich rub. And it is a rub, but that's just what everybody calls it. The honest truth is you just sprinkle it and make sure you cover the whole thing. Your skin's going to get nice and crispy because of all the fat that is in duck, so you don't have to worry much about that. On chicken, you might add a little sugar to it to make sure you get crispy. On turkey, you definitely want to add a little sugar into it. Duck, we've got enough fat to not need to add the extra caramelization. You want to keep it kind of even, make sure you don't have any lumps of any one type or another of the spice, keep them pretty evenly spread. And you're not over salting it. Remember that somewhere near half of this salt that I'm putting on here, it's going to fall off just getting onto the grill, and the other half is probably going to fall off while it's cooking. Whatever gets dissolved into it, that'll be what's left staying on it, and the part that I'm about to put on the inside. You definitely want to put enough on the inside, because that's where you don't have a barrier from skin to the meat. So make sure it's all the way down in there. Don't try shoving your hand down inside a chicken or a turkey or anything. That's just silly. You end up with just a mess. But get it all in there and all back out. And now we have a perfectly rubbed down duck ready to go onto the smoker. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button off to the side. I have no idea where it's going to be. And I'll show you what this thing looks like after a few minutes in the grill.